Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about a topic a lot of people have been commenting, asking me to try and go over, and it's why Wolves must sell players if they want to bring new ones in. And also I'm going to explain why we've got too many players at the moment because of the EFL rules. We've got a bit to do and there's only 3 weeks to go until the window shuts on the 1st of September. Obviously Blackburn's Friday, so the season starts, and we're in a mess. We're not where Nathan Shee in particular said we'd be. He said he wanted to stop doing business late. He wanted everything sorted. And again, which we say every summer, I feel like I'm a broken record. It hasn't happened. We're in the same situation again where we haven't got rid of players and sorted our squad out quick enough. But having said that, we have got a decent squad for the Championship, but we've got too many non-homegrown players. Now I'm going to explain the rules. So the rules state, just like the Premier League in the Championship, the maximum number of players you can register in a squad is 25. That's 25 over 21 years of age players. Any player under the age of 21 do not need to be registered, and they can be on your bench, they can be in your squad, does not matter. They can be thrown in. So having a really talented under 21s player is very valuable because you don't have to register in your 25-man squad, like a Mane, for example. Now, you have to have in your 25-man squad 8 homegrown players out of the 25. So that leaves a maximum of 17 non-homegrown players. So for example, if you only had 7 homegrown players over the age of 21, your squad would be 24 players. You'd lose a slot. So because you couldn't name 8, you would lose a slot. So if you've only got 6 homegrown players, the biggest squad you can have is 23. That's assuming you've got 17 non-homegrown players, which most teams have. So, and the difference between the Championship and the Premier League as well, on a match day in the Championship, you have to have at least 7 homegrown players named in your 20-man matchday squad. That's 9 substitutes. And one of them has to be a player that's been developed through your system. Like a Mane would qualify for that, for example, for Wolves. But of course, he's under 21. So it's a weird, complicated system. But in the Premier League on your match day, you don't have to have that many homegrown players. You could have, God knows, what is it? All of them, if you could be non-homegrown. So like, the rules differ between the Premier League and the Championship. So Wolves, I'm going to explain now why we have got too many players in our squad and why it's affecting our transfer business as well. So we have currently got, I've gone through it, trust me on this, we have got 26 players over the age of 21 years of age in our squad. That's 18 non-homegrown players over the age of 21. So that means we've got at least 1 non-homegrown player that cannot be registered in our 25-man squad. So the likes of Boubacar Traore or Hee-Chan will probably have to sit out and sit in the stands and can't be registered as it stands. Boubacar Traore was the one who fell victim to that against Port Vale. They had to put Jerome Abbey in on the bench because we already had 13 non-homegrown players in the squad, and the likes of Boubacar Traore, there was no room for to get in to that match 21 match day squad. We've got 8 homegrown players over the age of 21 in the squad at the moment. They are Sam Johnston, Dan Bentley, Kieran Trippier, Hugo Bueno, Kajana Hoover, who's not going to be here, let's be honest, Tommy Doyle, Adam Armstrong, Tawanda Traore. Now, to be a homegrown player, you don't have to be English. You can be from Kazakhstan, you can be from the moon, you can be an alien, but as long as you were registered to a team in the UK for 3 years or more before the age of 21, you count as homegrown. That's why most of the players are British and English, because it's very rare that like someone like Hugo Bueno, who's Spanish, become homegrown. It's quite rare. As I say, most are British. So we have got 5 under 21 players who don't need to be registered, who we may use, who we've seen in pre-season. So the main one's Matheus Mane. Then we've got Pedro Lima, who's 20. Jerome Abbey, the 16-year-old. Tom Adozie and Enzo Gonzalez. So Enzo Gonzalez is 21 now, but he turned 21 after the 1st of January this year. So he still counts as an under 21. So if we were to name if we were to register our squad now, and I'm going to assume Yana Hoover won't be registered because he's just not been around, has he? He's not going to be here. So our squad will actually be 24 players because we'll have 7 homegrown players, which would be Sam Johnson, Dan Bentley, Kieran Trippier, Hugo Bueno, Tommy Doyle, Adam Armstrong, Tawanda Chiwewa. And then we'd name 17 non-homegrown players. And if it's so complicated, I get it. And I bet you're scratching your head, and I am too. So the reason why we're not signing Brian Medina is because we've got too many players in the squad. We've got to get rid of these non-homegrown players. We've probably got to get rid of about 4 of them if we want to bring new ones in. We can sign, we could sign a Jordan James, no problem, because he's homegrown. That would be get him in, bang, he can go straight in because we've got a homegrown space there, especially if Hoover is not to be registered. So yeah, it's very complicated. There's a lot of work to do, and I don't envy the people who do it. But they have known about this, God, 6 months. We knew we were down in January, so they've had all this time to prepare. I know we've had a manager change. They're blaming the World Cup for the slow market, but it's just a mess, an absolute mess. We can't seem to sell anyone. I spoke about Sam Johnson and Jose Sarr. No one seems to want them. Obviously, Jose Sarr's a non-homegrown. He was on the bench against Port Vale. Johnson's nowhere to be seen, but he is a homegrown Johnson. So if we kept him, it would be good for the homegrown quota. I mean, Santi Bueno and Krejci may go, so that gets rid of 2 non-homegrown, but they'd be good to keep because they're quality players. Of course, Pedro Lima's under 21. It's a difficult situation. It really is. And as I say, if I had to guess, it would be Hwang Hee-Chan and probably Boubacar Traore who are not registered, if it was my guess. I mean, Bellegarde will be registered, who's a non-homegrown, definitely. Yeah, obviously Rafiki Saeed will be, he's a new signing. It's just so interesting and so complicated. I hope I've explained this well. It's been a bit of a hot topic. And like I said, I do think since the switch of manager, I do think we're going to keep a lot more players than we expected to keep at the end when the season ended the Premier League. Is Hwang Hee-Chan going to be there? Who's going to go? It's anyone's guess these next few weeks. But what it does mean, as it stands against Blackburn, you know, like the likes of Hwang Hee-Chan and Boubacar Traore and maybe Kalajic can't fit in our match day squad because of the rules. But you have to register your squad just after the window closes on the 1st of September. So, wow, it's going to be mad. But there we go. Please like the video, everyone. I hope this helps. Please subscribe if you're new. Comment your thoughts down below. I may have butchered it in parts. And, yeah, I'll catch you next video, which at the moment, most likely, will be a preview for Blackburn because there's not much transfer rumours and signings going on, in or out. Cheers, everyone.